Welcome back to another episode of HR Game Changers.
Glad to be here.
We're diving deep into the world of recruitment today, and specifically why those traditional methods still matter.
Yeah.
We were really inspired by Brett Beauchamp-Russell's article, Why Traditional Recruitment Still Matters, Balancing AI and Human Touch for Optimal Hiring Results.
Mm.
It seems like in a world that's obsessed with automation, we're circling back and saying, wait a minute, the human element is still crucial.
It is, and it's a fascinating kind of paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we're seeing all these, AI-powered tools popping up for recruitment, but at the same time, I think there's this growing awareness that, you know what, the old ways, they still have something to offer that these algorithms just can't quite replicate yet.
Right. And so that's what we really want to unpack today.
Yeah.
Let's start with the human touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is it so important?
Well, think about it. In any interaction, a genuine human connection makes all the difference,
Yeah.
It's about building rapport. It's about establishing trust. It's about understanding those nuances that, algorithms might miss.
You're so right. I've definitely been on the receiving end of some very impersonal interactions, and I can say it's incredibly frustrating, especially in the context of recruitment, where you're putting your best foot forward, trying to really showcase who you are as a candidate.
Exactly.
And to feel like you're just being processed by a machine is just awful.
Candidates want to feel seen and heard,
Yes.
not just processed by a machine.
Yeah.
And I think, the beauty of these traditional methods, whether it's a face-to-face interview or, even just doing personal reference checks, is that they allow for that level of, depth and connection that I think is really crucial for making the right hiring decisions.
It's about going beyond, just the skills and experience that are listed on a resume, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's about getting to know the person, understanding their motivations, their personality, whether they'd be a good fit for your company culture.
Precisely. And cultural fit is huge for employee satisfaction and retention. We can look at companies like Zappos or Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
They've really built their entire success on prioritizing that cultural fit in their hiring processes.
They do.
And they invest the time to get to know candidates on a personal level. And I think it shows in their high levels of employee engagement.
I've heard such great things about working at those places.
Yeah.
So how do these traditional methods help reveal those more nuanced aspects of a candidate that AI might miss?
Well, I think if you think about a traditional job interview,
Okay.
you're not just, asking a series of pre-programmed questions. It's a conversation.
Yeah.
You're observing body language. You're picking up on those subtle cues that, give you a sense of the person beyond just their qualifications. You're asking follow-up questions. You're digging a little deeper into their experiences
Right.
and really trying to get a feel for who they are and how they might fit into the team.
Yeah.
This is where those soft skills really come to the forefront.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Things like communication, critical thinking, problem solving.
Oh, okay.
These are things that are harder to quantify than just like technical skills, but they're just as important, if not more so, for long-term success in a role.
Absolutely. So it's like reading between the lines.
Exactly.
It's like sensing whether someone would be a good colleague,
Yes,
whether they'd thrive in your company's environment.
absolutely. And that's something that AI, at least in its current state, still struggles with.
Mm-hmm.
It can analyze data points,
Yeah.
but it can't quite replicate that human intuition, that ability to really understand those nuances of human interaction.
So it's not about, just being warm and fuzzy.
Right.
It's about gathering essential information that's actually going to lead to a better hiring decision.
Absolutely. And, and it's important, the transparency and the fairness in the process. With AI, there's always that concern of, inherent bias in the algorithms
Right.
based on the data they're trained on. And we've seen examples of this where these AI recruiting tools have actually perpetuated existing biases
Yes.
and led to unfair outcomes for, certain groups of candidates.
That's right. And the Amazon case is a really great example of that, right?
Absolutely.
They had to scrap their AI recruiting tool because it was discriminating against women.
Yeah. Big red flag there.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty of those traditional methods is you have human oversight at every stage.
Yeah.
Recruiters can be more conscious of their own potential biases. They can work to diversify their candidate pool and ensure a more equitable process.
And that transparency just builds trust with candidates too.
It does.
Knowing that an actual human being is reviewing my application,
Yeah.
is taking the time to understand my unique qualifications.
Yes.
That makes a huge difference in my experience.
It shows that they're valued as individuals, not just as data points in a system.
Yes.
And that feeling of being respected and considered, I think, goes a long way in attracting top talent.
I think you're absolutely right. Now let's talk about, I guess, the elephant in the room, the cost.
Yeah.
There's this perception that traditional recruitment methods are more expensive, especially compared to, these new AI-powered tools. Is that true?
Not necessarily. It really depends on the company's size, their needs, and also the specific AI tools that they're considering.
Okay.
For smaller companies or those with tighter budgets, those traditional methods can actually be very cost effective.
How so?
Well, think about things like networking events,
Right.
employee referral programs, even just leveraging your own personal and professional networks.
Yeah.
I mean, these methods have been around forever for a reason.
Yeah.
They work.
They do.
And they don't require a huge upfront investment.
And you can really tailor your approach based on your budget and your hiring needs.
Exactly.
So you're not locked into like a subscription fee for this fancy AI platform that you might not even fully utilize.
Yeah, and you have that flexibility and control, which I think is very appealing for smaller companies or startups.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the cost of a bad hire.
Oh, that's a good point.
Which can be significant.
Yeah.
So, investing in a thorough, human-centered recruitment process can actually save you money in the long run by reducing turnover and ensuring that you're hiring the right people from the start.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about finding that right balance, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Leveraging technology where it makes sense, but not losing sight of the value of that human interaction in building relationships and making those crucial hiring decisions.
Yeah, and I think it boils down to feeling valued and respected. When a company takes the time to get to know you as a person, not just a set of skills on a resume, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It shows that they're truly invested in finding the right fit, not just filling a position.
It's like that old saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Exactly. And I think that applies to recruitment as well.
Yeah.
When candidates feel like they're being treated as individuals,
right,
they're more likely to be engaged in the process, more likely to accept an offer, and more likely to be happy in the role once they start.
It's about building trust.
It is.
Which is essential in any relationship.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a company and its employees or a recruiter and a candidate.
And I think traditional methods are particularly good at fostering that trust.
Yeah.
Because they're inherently more personal. You're not just interacting with a faceless algorithm.
Right.
You're connecting with a human being who is genuinely interested in you and your career goals.
And that can make all the difference.
It can. Yeah. So as much as we talk about, the importance of technology in HR, let's not forget that enduring power of human connection.
Right.
It's what makes us tick.
Yeah.
It's what builds relationships, and it's what drives successful recruitment.
So true. Now, you've done a lot of research in this area. Are there any particular examples or companies that stand out to you that are doing a really great job of balancing the AI and the traditional methods in their recruitment?
Oh, absolutely. There's quite a few organizations that are leading the way in this area. One that comes to mind is Teach for America.
Okay.
They're known for their very rigorous selection process,
right,
which includes, extensive interviews, personalized interactions with candidates.
That makes sense given what they do.
Yeah.
They're looking for really passionate, committed individuals who are going to go out there and make a real difference in the lives of students.
Absolutely. So it's not just about skills. It's about finding people with the right values, the right mindset.
Exactly. And those are some of those things that traditional methods are really good at assessing.
Absolutely. And another example that's worth mentioning is a company called Retorio.
Right.
They have actually developed an AI-powered video interview platform.
Wow.
That incorporates elements of human interaction.
Oh, that's interesting. So they're using the technology to enhance the human touch.
Exactly, not replace it.
Yeah.
So their platform actually uses AI to analyze facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, to provide insights into a candidate's personality and soft skills.
Okay.
But then they combine that data with human feedback from recruiters to create a more holistic picture of each candidate.
It's almost like they're taking the best of both worlds.
It is. It's very innovative, and I think it's a sign of things to come as AI continues to evolve.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more and more companies finding creative ways to integrate it with those traditional methods to create a more human-centered approach to recruitment.
Which ultimately is what it's all about.
It is.
Finding the right people for the right roles. Creating a workplace where everyone can thrive.
Absolutely. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here.
Okay.
But this whole conversation has got me thinking about the implications for job seekers as well.
Oh, that's a great point. What advice would you give to someone who's out there navigating the job market right now with all these changes happening?
That's a great question, and one that honestly deserves its own deep dive.
Yeah.
But if I were to offer one piece of advice,
Go.
it would be don't underestimate the power of personal connection.
Yeah.
Yes, AI is becoming more prevalent in the hiring process, but human skills are still highly valued.
So it's not just about optimizing my resume for those AI screening tools.
Right.
It's about making sure that I'm showcasing my personality, my soft skills as well.
Exactly. Network, build relationships. Don't be afraid to reach out to people directly. And, when you do get that interview, whether it's in person or virtual, remember that it's an opportunity to connect with another human being.
Yeah.
Be authentic. Be engaging. Let your personality shine through.
Such great advice.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the technology these days and kind of forget that human connection piece.
It is, but the truth is those connections are what make life meaningful. And they're what make work fulfilling.
Yeah.
So let's not lose sight of that, even as the world of recruitment continues to evolve.
I love that. Well said.
Thank you.
So to recap what we've talked about so far,
Yeah.
AI is definitely shaking things up in recruitment. But traditional recruitment methods are still so incredibly relevant.
They are.
That human touch, the ability to mitigate bias,
Yeah.
the cost effectiveness,
Yeah.
the focus on building trust, and just the nuanced insights that you gain from those traditional approaches are incredibly valuable.
Absolutely. And remember, it's about striking that right balance
Yeah.
between leveraging AI for efficiency, but still using those human-centered approaches to ensure that you're making the best hiring decisions.
Precisely so. As you think about your own career journey, or maybe you're in a position where you're hiring for your company,
Yeah.
consider how this balance might shape your approach.
It's a question worth pondering because at the end of the day, recruitment is about more than just filling a position. It's about finding the right fit, building relationships, and creating a workplace where everyone can thrive.
Beautifully said. We'll be back after a short break to explore even more insights into this dynamic world of recruitment. Stay with us.
One thing we haven't really touched on yet is the role of intuition in recruitment.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that, humans excel at, but AI is still kind of catching up on.
That's a really interesting point. We talk about, data and algorithms.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's that gut feeling that tells you, yeah, this person would be a good fit, or,
Exactly.
this doesn't feel right.
Think about those moments where you've met someone and you instantly felt a connection. Or conversely, you sensed a red flag
Right.
that you couldn't quite put your finger on.
Yeah.
That's intuition at play, and it can be incredibly valuable in the hiring process.
So how can we tap into that intuition more effectively without just relying on gut feeling?
Well, I think it's about being present and observant during those interactions with candidates. Paying attention not just to what they're saying,
Yeah.
but also their body language, their tone of voice, the way they tell a story.
Uh-huh.
These subtle cues can reveal a lot about a person's character and how they might behave in different situations.
Now that makes me think about those behavioral interview questions that you often hear about.
Yes.
Where you ask candidates to describe, how they handled a specific challenge in the past.
Exactly. Those types of questions can be very illuminating because they give you a glimpse into how someone actually thinks and reacts under pressure.
Right.
You can assess their problem-solving skills, their emotional intelligence, and their overall fit with the company culture.
It's about going beyond the hypothetical.
Yes.
And seeing how they've actually behaved in real-life situations.
Precisely. And traditional recruitment methods, with that emphasis on those in-depth interviews and personal interactions, provide ample opportunity for those insights to emerge.
This conversation has really highlighted the importance of finding that sweet spot between the AI and the human expertise in recruitment. It's not about, one replacing the other.
Right.
It's about using them together to create a more effective and well-rounded process.
I completely agree. AI can be a powerful tool for streamlining certain tasks,
Well,
like it's screening large volumes of resumes or scheduling interviews.
right.
But when it comes to those crucial decisions about who to hire,
Yeah.
human judgment, empathy, intuition, those remain essential.
It's about leveraging technology to enhance the human touch, not to eliminate it.
Exactly. And I think the companies that are doing this well are the ones that are seeing the best results,
Mm-hmm.
both in terms of attracting top talent and creating a really positive candidate experience.
So if I'm a company and I'm looking to, optimize my recruitment process, where do I even begin?
I think the first step is to be really clear about your needs and your goals.
Okay.
What are the specific skills and qualities that you're looking for in candidates?
Yeah.
What kind of company culture are you trying to build? Once you have a clear understanding of that, then you can start thinking about, what are the best tools and methods for finding the right people?
So it's about having a strategy in place,
Yes.
not just jumping on the latest technology bandwagon because it sounds cool.
Precisely. And remember, technology is constantly evolving.
Right.
What works today might not work tomorrow.
That's true.
The key is to stay informed, be adaptable,
Yeah.
and always put that human element at the center of your recruitment process.
We've been talking a lot about the benefits for companies,
Yeah.
but what about the candidates themselves? What advice would you give to someone who's out there navigating the job market right now with all of these changes happening?
That's a great question. And I think my advice would be to embrace both the technological advancements and the enduring power of human connection.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Well, on the one hand, it's important to be tech savvy.
Mhm.
Familiarize yourself with the different AI tools that are being used in recruitment. Optimize your resume and online presence for those systems, and be prepared for virtual interviews and assessments.
So stay ahead of the curve technologically speaking.
Yes, but at the same time,
Okay.
don't forget the importance of showcasing your personality, your soft skills, your unique value proposition.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that will truly set you apart from the competition.
So how do you recommend candidates do that?
Well, networking is
Yeah.
key. Attend industry events, connect with people on LinkedIn.
Right.
Reach out to people that you admire for informational interviews.
Oh.
Building those relationships can open doors and give you a leg up in the job search.
So building those human connections, even in this digital world.
Exactly. And when you do get that interview, whether it's in person or virtual,
Yeah.
remember to be authentic. Be engaging. Let your personality shine through.
Mm-hmm.
Show the interviewer that you're not just a set of skills on a resume. You're a real person with passion, enthusiasm, and a desire to contribute.
I love that advice. It's such a good reminder that even in this age of AI and automation, human connection is still what matters most.
It truly is. And in the context of recruitment, it's what leads to the best outcomes for both companies and candidates.
You've given our listeners a lot to think about today as we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
What's the one key takeaway you'd like them to remember?
I would say the future of recruitment is about finding the right balance between human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
Okay.
It's about leveraging technology to enhance our capabilities, not to replace those qualities that make us uniquely human.
And what are those?
Our empathy, our creativity, our ability to connect with one another on a deeper level.
Those are the qualities that make work meaningful and make companies thrive.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we conclude this deep dive into the world of recruitment,
Yeah.
I think it's important to recap a few key takeaways.
Okay.
First and foremost, while AI is transforming the HR landscape, traditional methods are still incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
That human touch, the ability to mitigate bias, the cost effectiveness, the trust building aspect, and those nuanced insights you get from those traditional approaches, they're essential elements of a successful recruitment strategy.
Couldn't agree more. It's about finding that sweet spot,
Yeah.
that balance between using AI for efficiency,
Right.
but then leveraging human expertise for those really critical decisions.
Yes. And it's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
The world of recruitment is constantly evolving, so stay curious, stay adaptable, and never underestimate the power of human connection.
Well said. And for all of you out there who are navigating your own careers, or maybe you're leading recruitment efforts for your company,
Yeah.
I encourage you to think about how this balance might shape your approach.
It is.
What aspects are most important to you?
Hmm.
What kind of experience do you want to create for yourselves or for the people that you're hiring?
Those are great questions to consider because at the end of the day, recruitment is about more than just filling positions.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right fit. building relationships and creating a workplace where everyone can thrive.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you.
So on that note, we'll wrap up another episode of HR Game Changers. Make sure to join us next week for another episode of HR Game Changers.